So, we should just get a clap. So that when we go to record, we just clap it and everyone records at once. Especially Steve. Steve's our backup. Yeah, that's a finger. Steve will always be in charge of the backup recording.
Yep. Yeah.
He's not failed us yet. He's the only one who consistently does his job here at.
Yeah, he's here and then talks and tells his opinion.
Record everything in my brain.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was that one week where we had you come in and actually recite everyone's lines, and you can do everyone's voice perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Steve's always our backup.
Yeah.
Welcome to Utterly Geek, the show in which I, Darren Bell, talk video games with Stephen Petrella, who's over there, and Chris Walczyk, who is over there.
We're both over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's here. I'm here. You're there. That's how that works.
I'm very over there.
You're way over there.
I'm very over there.
Way the fuck over there.
Yep.
You are in the past? Yes, you're in the past.
Yes.
You're in the future.
Yes, I experience the past all the time.
Listen, it's pretty shitty over here in the future. You might want to stay back there as long as you can. But
well, only by 2 hours. That's really just how far back in the past I am.
Is video games. In the future, they just keep getting better.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
They get better and better as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll let Wally go last. What did you play this week, Steve?
I played a decent amount more of Horizon, but I feel like we've talked a lot about that game, and a lot of the stuff that I've said, I would just reiterate just how good it is and how much fun it is and how much I really like that game. So if you haven't had a chance to play it yet, go play it because it's really good.
Yeah, I want to pick that up or find a way to play that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if you have any interest in open world games, like it's one of the better ones that I've played.
Yeah,
just like stylistically and story wise, and just keeping it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we lost Darren's video, but I'm gonna keep going.
Sweet.
I started playing What Remains of Edith Finch.
Oh, sweet.
Oh.
You guys know how I love my story-driven walking sims.
Yeah.
Yeah, that thing had me super interested.
It's like, as far as those games go, I think it's amazing. Like, I have put like an hour and a half into it. I feel like it's going to be really short. Like, I feel like it's not going to be too much longer, but stylistically and like what they have you do is fucking cool as hell. Like, as far as walking sims go. So the premise is you're this girl and you're going back to the house that you grew up in, and you're reliving like the deaths of her entire family. And they're all these like fantastical things. And
what are you playing that on?
I'm playing it on PC.
Sweet. I'm totally gonna steal that from you.
Yeah. And it's just really I just really like the way that they do things, like how they tell the story is pretty original. Like, it's done really literary, and they put like the words on the screen and they interact with you. So like when you're walking and you walk through them, like sometimes they burst out and they just fall to the ground. And it's just like a really nice little addition, and the environment is absolutely gorgeous. And the first story that you play is fucking awesome. It's just like really cool and interesting and super original. And I don't want to spoil it because it's just so cool.
Yeah.
So But yeah, as far as those games go, if you like them, like I definitely recommend it. If you don't, obviously don't ever play a walking sim because you don't fucking like them. And there's a lot of people who don't like that type of game, which is fine. I totally understand why you wouldn't, because I mean, like we've said before, some people argue that they're not even video games.
Right.
Because they basically play themselves. It's almost like an interactive story or an interactive movie, which I'm fine. I love that. I think it, like, for me, and there is an aspect of gameplay involved in it, but it's really like it plays itself, like it guides you. Mm-hmm. You're not really making any choices. It's just a way for them to tell a story, which I really like in my video games, because it allows me to immerse myself into a story in a way that other things don't allow you to do. So. Right.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing with the walking simulator. Like I never understood that as a pejorative. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you go back all the way to Dear Esther, which was one of the first modern walking simulators, that could have easily been done in a video or a small art film, but you don't have the same impact because you're not in control of a film. Mm. You're not as present. When you sit down to watch a movie, you're in a different mindset than when you're to sit down and interact with a game.
Yeah.
And I totally get that as a way to tell certain stories. And What Remains of Edith Finch definitely is one of those games where you couldn't do that as a short film.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just same the thing. Way that, just how they do it, there's no way. Like, it's just the interaction that you can have with it is just really well done. And just, I don't know. It brings back like a childlike kind of wonder of like monsters and, just being, it almost feels like a different telling of like Big Fish a little bit. Like it just feels like stylistically it feels like Big Fish and like these over the top grandiose stories.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, that's exactly what, like, I get that feeling from it of like, hey, listen to these stories and they're like probably embellished and it like takes you into the story, and it's just really, really fucking interesting and just a cool idea.
And Danny DeVito is a werewolf, and
Danny DeVito is a werewolf.
So that's one movie that I saw once. And that was like the only time that I saw it, and I should probably revisit it. And after seeing it, I was like, that's a really good original Tim Burton film right there. Yeah. And then that was it. And then, like, I don't know, it just kind of didn't stick with me, I guess. But
it's so good.
But I definitely I do know that like it was good from what I remember of it. But yeah, mm-hmm. I should probably revisit it again.
I don't understand how I don't own that on Blu-ray.
Yeah, Big Fish is definitely one of those movies that Tim Burton knocked it out of the park on that one. Like, because it's just a beautiful story about, like, regaining the love of your father and, like, the understanding. It's just a fucking great story. Mm-hmm. But yeah, What Remains of Edith Finch definitely reminds me of Big Fish in a way. Like, I mean, it's not the same story. It just like the way that they tell the story reminds me of the stories that the father told the son in Big Fish.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely like, if you like those just story-driven games, it's pretty damn good.
I totally plan on bumming that off of your Steam account. How long to beat had that clocked in at about 2.5 hours?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I played like an hour and a half, and I feel like I'm most of the way through it.
Did you play Oxenfree last year?
I didn't get a chance to, but I really want to play that game.
You should totally fucking play Oxenfree. You want to talk about a weird... So, does What Remains of Edith Finch have any kind of dialogue that you're interacting with in any way? Or does it just like play? No, are you choosing?
No,
responses?
you don't choose anything. No.
Okay. So
there's no like interaction between that. It's just like
so it's more like a Gone Home.
Yeah, it's a lot like Gone Home. It's more of like, so what it is it's there and you can choose the pace that you interact with the game. So it's like you can, because there's a lot to look at. So if you just decide, hey, I want to go and look over here and see this stuff, and check this shit out, like it's just all the pace that you decide to move at.
Sure.
Because it just pops up and there's just prompts and stuff like that. I mean, there is interaction of you like moving around and doing certain things and tasks, but there's no like, you don't like do too much outside. Like there's a really cool part where you do get to like kind of move around and whack things and shit, but other than that, like it's just story.
Right. That's cool. Yeah, I've been looking forward to that one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you touch anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. That and Horizon.
Nice. I've been bouncing back and around with Watch Dogs 2, which
Sweet.
I really like the game, but at the same time, I haven't fired an actual honest gun in that entire game because it feels so antithetical to like the whole setup of it.
Yeah.
Like I will melee the shit out of guys because it doesn't explicitly say that they're dead. Every other, like, it's like you're knocking them out.
Mm-hmm.
I will stun you. I will use non-lethal fucking traps, but I refuse to shoot someone. However, I do have the ability to call in a gang hit on people. That I'm okay with, because I'm not doing it. And that seems okay from a hacker standpoint.
Right.
I will also hack the fuck out of a vehicle and have it run over security guards because, hey, it was an accident. Like I'm kind of playing it as a weird like Hitman hybrid, and I did a really interesting story arc of taking down New Dawn, which is the in-game Scientology cult, which is it's an interesting side quest. But what I'm more interested about, you've got your core group of hackers, and they're each kind of really well written.
Mm-hmm.
But I just got to the point where they're starting to give me their own story arcs. So they each want to do something in particular that's specific to their skill set, but they need you to come in and help out with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you're learning about them. And it's really well put together. It's almost to Golden Age Rockstar level writing. Where some of the more memorable story arcs of those games are about, here's this one character who's kind of your ally and they need you to do a couple of things, and that's how you really learn about them. Like the Big Smoke stuff that you got into in San Andreas.
Yeah.
It feels like that. Like you're building your crew and you're getting to know your crew by doing all these little missions. I just really hope it doesn't do the San Andreas thing where one of you fucking turns on all of you.
Right.
Because that would be cliched and corny, but it is Ubisoft, so I'm not holding my breath there. Outside of that, just a little bit more Mario Kart. Tried to get back into Shin Megami Tensei 4 on the 3DS. I went on a long distance road trip for a wedding this weekend.
Okay.
To an area that did not have cell phone reception. So I was mostly disconnected from the outside world for about 48 hours, and it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To not be able to check the news, which has become a compulsion for me. To just be like, I gotta check. I can't. Okay. I'm weaning myself off so that I can become a sane member of society. And that helped. That helped a lot. So, but other than that, not really much. I did get a bit more into Has Been Heroes.
Okay.
I have finally succeeded in a battle.
Yay!
That game definitely has a flow to it.
Yeah.
In how you have to leverage feels like a tactical strategy roguelike tower defense.
Yeah.
Where you have to manage the lanes correctly. And if you let any one lane get overwhelmed, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
And you have to learn to think the way the game wants you to think, which is really, because the rule set that they have is so unique. I haven't played anything like it myself, I guess is the takeaway there. So I finally got to the first boss fight, and Jesus Christ, it took me forever, and then I eventually just fucking died. But all along the way, as you're killing things in battle, you're gathering their souls or some sort of essence that hasn't really been explained to me.
Yeah.
But every time you die, your heroes go up to the pearly gates, and now that essence goes to St. Peter. And once you get enough, he gives you giant smiles and thumbs up, and he's like, "Yo, hey, that's awesome!" And you see a number of items unlock, and then drop down beneath the clouds before they shove you back down under the clouds to start again. So I've got through one of those unlocks. I'm thinking that just puts more stuff into the game world to find.
Mm-hmm.
But what I didn't realize until this more recent playthrough, on the lower right-hand corner, you've got your map. So you're choosing which direction, and you roughly know what's going to be at the next location, whether it's a shop, a safe room. But then there are unidentified dots that they're either blank with nothing in them, or they're combat. And you know before you go into it that it's combat. So during this one run, I found a shop. I didn't have any money, and I really wanted that shit. So I kept moving a little beyond it, a couple nodes away. Finally got a bunch of money. I'm like, okay, now I'll go back. To go back, you burn a candle. You cannot go back over the path that you have already traced. Unless you have this other type of currency to spend.
Okay.
So I just said fuck it and got pissed. Because I could finally buy the shit I needed, but I couldn't backtrack all the way there. So there's a level of strategy too with how do you maneuver around the map, because if you know something is a shop and you don't have quite enough gold but you want to see what it is, you have to figure out what angle to come in on and depart from in order to hit a couple nodes and then come back to it if you wanted to without burning these candles. There's a lot of hidden depth to that thing.
Yeah.
And I can see myself getting caught up in it. But other than that, nothing really.
Cool.
Okay. So would you?
Well, I'm gonna kind of talk about something that isn't so much video game related, but it is sci-fi stuff. No
spoilers for Alien.
Okay, fine. That's what I saw. That's what I saw on Friday.
Alien
Covenant.
On Friday. It is now Monday.
Yeah, well, hey, it's something I did over the last week. So, hey, man.
What in God's name makes you think we want to talk about spoiler things?
I know, but hey,
just don't spoil it.
Yeah,
that's all I'm asking because I haven't seen it yet.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just merely bringing it up because it's something that I was interested in that I saw over the weekend. So
where does it land in quality?
It's so weird because there's some really good practical effects with the locations and the settings. But there's also, like, a lot of CGI that they use. And some of it's really good CGI. But other times it's like, damn, man. Come on, Fox. This is, like, all you got? Really? Like, I've seen much better shit recently that you guys have done. But, I mean, hey, at least it's not Alien 3 CGI. So, I mean, I count my blessings. Because, dear God,
you're also decades removed.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of cool to see an Alien in the modern day with the modern graphics that CGI can do. But they still have a lot of aliens being done through CGI as opposed to practical effects. which kind of sucks. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird. I actually kind of wish that we had more time to watch Prometheus before seeing Alien Covenant. Because I mean, we've been going through watching all the Alien movies again before seeing this one, and I mean, we saw Prometheus last year, and I saw it for the first time, and quite frankly, I don't really remember a lot of it, mostly because I was going into the movie with a lot of thinking about all of the feedback from it, because a lot of it, and by feedback I mean how a lot of people were like, come on, Ridley Scott, this is definitely an Alien movie. Like, why aren't you saying it's an Alien movie? And then Ridley Scott was just like, yeah, but it's not. It's like, dude, all the signs are pointing to that's a fucking Alien movie. And he just kept denying it. But then eventually, I guess he did once he revealed about Alien Covenant. So, but I kind of wish I went back to kind of get a recap on it, so I knew the locations and some of the characters. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably be rewatching that soon, so that way I can have a better understanding of it.
I actually enjoyed Prometheus quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to watch it again. To see whether if I really do like it, because I mean, when I watched it for the first time, I wouldn't say I hated it. It's just that I had in the back of my mind the whole time being like, remember, it's not an Alien movie, but it is an Alien movie the entire time. Instead of just going in, just being like, just enjoy the fucking movie. It's a sci-fi thriller. Just go with it. Fucking now you know. Yeah. Just go back into it and watch it again. So.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed Prometheus too. Like, I think the people who would lump it, because it is in the Alien, it's not, I don't think it's like necessarily an Alien movie, but it's in the Alien universe. Like, it's the kind of the reason why the aliens are there, like, and what they're doing. So that introduction is cool. I feel like it gets hated on. There are a lot of like technical issues with the movie, and I think some of the acting is poorly done, and I think like some of the choices were bad. But I like the movie as a whole. I think like a lot, like you said about like the locations and stuff in Covenant. Like, I feel like Prometheus like knocks it out of the park with like the environment. Yeah, it's like just absolutely beautifully filmed, which Ridley Scott is really good at doing, regardless of how bad some of his movies have been. Like, he's always on point with like big shots and good scenery and stuff like that, which Prometheus is like a beautifully filmed movie. And I feel like a lot of the CGI is really well done in that too. Oh yeah. A lot of like the alien CGI is actually pretty well done, which I have heard is, I haven't seen Covenant yet, but I did read that it's a mixed bag in that. Just like you said, like there's parts where it's like, damn, this is really good, and then there's parts where it seems like they might have skimped out for some odd reason. Like either they lost funding for the movie, or they just like ran out of money or time, and we're like, fuck it, we got to get this shit done. Yeah. Which I could see both of those happening, where it's like, oh, we ran out of money, so fuck, what are we gonna do? But yeah, I really like Prometheus. I think there's definitely a lot of people who hated it, and I think Covenant seems to be in that same realm of like some people are really liking it and some people are really hating shit out of it. So, I'm still gonna go watch it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
On the thing of movies, I saw Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yeah,
I did.
I still need to see that as well.
Saw that on. I saw that yesterday. Yeah.
Nice.
And watched it by myself, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. Very fun. Yeah. I mean, if you like the first one, I think you'll like the second one, because it's more of the same. Yeah, it's just more of what I really loved about the first one. Like, it's not like the greatest story or anything like that, but as far as like the action and the one-liners and the comedy, it's fucking on point. Like, it is probably one of the funniest movies I've seen in a while. Like, it's just the delivery and the timing of every joke is like fucking perfect.
Oh yeah.
Like right when you need a joke, here it comes. You know, and it's always like this fucking hilarious little joke.
Yep.
Like there's some of them that aren't that funny, but I mean you can't hit on everything, but the ones that hit are just like they hit fucking hard. And yeah, like
I'm gonna make some weird shit.
yeah, like stuff like that. Just like the little simple things are just like goddamn, and just like Chris Pratt's delivery is always good.
Oh yeah.
The little things that they do with Baby Groot are so well done. Yeah, it's definitely a fun movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, but since Darren hasn't seen it, no spoilers.
Yeah,
we got a long weekend coming up. We might just spend some time at a movie theater.
There you go. Just do a double feature of sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
Start out with Alien, so that way
those are both things that my girlfriend's real into.
So just go see Alien
Guardians.
first. So that way you get like all of the horror and scares and suspense out of the way, and then just go see Guardians of the Galaxy 2 to lighten up everything.
Yeah, then you'll laugh.
Either way, it doesn't matter. Either order, those will probably get seen soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So out of all that, because I'm still locked out of Steve's account to play Grim Dawn, I picked up again Path of Exile. Because I was like, hey, that's another ARPG that is free to play, and I gave it a shot, like, I think it was like 1 or 2 years ago, for like 3 hours, and I was just like, man, this is a lot to take in. Fucking, I'm kind of done doing this, so I stopped playing it, but I picked it back up because I was like, maybe I'll give it another shot. Like, Grim Dawn was kind of overwhelming at times, but it's I'll see what Path of Exile has for it being free to play. And Jesus, as if I didn't think enough with all the passive abilities in Grim Dawn of there being like with all the constellations, Path of Exile for all of their passive abilities is just fucking huge. I don't know if either of you have seen the skill tree on those things, but dear God, like look it up at some point and just look of how many skill points you can put into. I don't even know what the hell the max level cap is. I mean, granted, some of the missions, much like Grim Dawn, where they give you points to spend, but Path of Exile just has
holy balls.
Fucking, yeah. It's got a lot. And you can only put, like, each time that you level up, you can only put 1 point into something. And it's just such a huge fucking tree.
The resolution is 16,135 by 15,300 for the full. Holy ball sacks. This is gonna be the cover art. So
yeah. It's pretty fucking huge.
This is just for passives.
Yep.
Holy shit. How does this even work?
Yeah, so the way that it works with getting abilities is through their gem system. So you get a rare drop in gems, and you basically socket them into your weapons, and some of them give you abilities. Actually, all the gems give you abilities. Some of them might be more for armor. Some of them which are, I think, rarer in drops than something like weapons, which I get almost all the time. But even no matter what you equip them to, it depending on the weapon itself, it will create an active ability that you can slot and then use. And you have your left click and your right click, and you also have a middle mouse button for skill, and then you have Q through T. So you have Q, W, E, R, T for abilities as well. And then for 1 through 5 is where you put all your potions and whatnot. Mana potions, haste potions and whatnot. And the 2 ways that those potions can be refilled after you use them is just by killing enemies. Or by going back into town. then it'll refill them. So yeah, I've been putting a lot more time into that, giving it a much larger of a chance, and because I know that's a pretty well received ARPG, especially for it being free, and there's a shit ton of content for it. Yeah, so
God damn.
Yeah,
it's a 24 megabyte image, by the way.
Yeah.
I looked it up. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. That's a big old tree.
Yeah, and especially for it being free, like a free ARPG, like there's
you
so
definitely
much.
Wouldn't expect that.
It's like Final Fantasy X's fucking sphere grid.
Yep. Yeah, to that level.
Oh my god.
So another game that I kind of was like, I need some kind of game to jump in, play a little bit of, and jump out of, and Thumper I jumped back into. I know I mentioned it a little bit last week near the end, but I kind of wanted to go back, and I kind of what I know that Steve and I have done in the past, where we go back to previous levels and try to perfect it and get S rank. But that's what I did in the last week. But the week prior, I got to World, I think it was like 6 or 7.
7, I think.
Yeah, 7, because I beat 6 just barely. I was just like, fuck it, I'm just trying to survive at this point and try to beat the world. And then 7 throws you at another loop because because after 6 and how difficult it was, like the first, I think like 4 or 5 checkpoints of 7 was like, oh, this is nice. I get a little time to kind of just relax and just enjoy the game. And then you get to the boss, the first boss of that world, and then it throws you into a fucking loop because this boss basically alters the course at sharp angles, so then you can't see the track ahead of you. You have to entirely rely on the sound and the audio cues before they come up to your little bug. So you have to like time that up perfectly. So you can't entirely depend on looking at the track. You have to depend on listening to it. And that I think I beat the boss, and then I was like, okay, I finally got it, and I beat that boss. But then that world is nothing but that afterwards. And I was just like, I got to that next checkpoint, and I was like, no, fuck this. No. Maybe I'll someday come back to this shit, but right now, fuck that. Like, no way.
Yeah. So I've been wanting to go back to Thumper but I stopped because I got a salty taste in my mouth because I was playing the final boss of level 6, and I accidentally hit like the restart the whole fucking thing. So I started from the beginning of level 6 again, and I was just like, nah, I'm fucking done with this game. I'm so done with this game right now, because the final boss for level 6 is pretty hard, because I think he or what the boss does is sends out things that are the same, but he does it in a different order every time, so you can't memorize like how he throws it out there.
Oh, so you have to be able to react.
Yeah, so like there's like 4 or 5 of the same tracks that he throws out there, but he does them in a different order every time you die. And I just couldn't get it down, and then I fucking...
And then the laser beam. He had the
laser beam.
The fucking laser beam ring, like, for...
That fucks you up.
I think he had, like, it... He definitely had it on the... definitely after, like, the first attack. And then the other, like, 3 more times that you have to attack him, he has that ring, and it's up the entire fucking time.
Yeah, that fucking ring is a bitch. Yeah, after that happened, I was just like, man, I'm not playing this game for a while. And now I kind of want to get back to it, but after listening to your horror story, maybe I'll hold off for even a little bit longer.
See, I never bought it when it first came out, but I played it at other people's places. I played that fucker in VR, and if you want to be terrified, you play that fucking game in VR.
I want to so badly.
Yeah, me too. I really do.
Man, it's an experience. it just came out on Switch last week, so I'm thinking about picking it up there.
Oh, nice. Yeah, definitely.
Because that's the perfect style of game for the Switch.
Yeah. So, and the last game, I mean, I'd say last game, I've been playing Overwatch and Battlegrounds, but, I mean, you know, whatever.
Yeah, there's not a lot more to be said about those other than fucking play them.
Yeah, exactly. So, the other game that I was like, shit, man, I've had this game in my library for a long time. I should fucking play it, and I've heard great things, was Dust and Elysian Tail. Was one game that I was just like, holy shit, man, I should play this game. And I got like an hour into it, and I was like, why the fuck have I not been playing this game?
You know that whole thing was made by one guy?
Yep. Over the course of 4 years. I think the only thing he didn't do was the music, but otherwise everything else was all him. The artwork, I don't know, well, I mean, I guess he hired other people to do voice work. But yeah, like all the art.
He's just that good.
Did the male and female voices. No, but he did like the art, all of the art and all of the programming for it. But yeah, it's goddamn, man, it's pretty impressive for one person, and the PC port is great as well. Although there's like one little thing that's kind of, I think it's just because of how old the game is. There's some times where it throws my mind into a weird like what the fuck am I looking at, because it just has this weird motion or weird motion blur that it does while I'm running around. It's just a little off-putting. So I don't know if there's any way to turn that down a little bit, but Jesus Christ, it's just like it's in my fucking face, and I'm just like, God, like. But I'm slowly getting used to it. But that aside, being my only complaint, it's really fucking good as like a Metroidvania action RPG side-scrolling. Like, it's so many different genres that I could.
You're what, a samurai fox in that?
Yeah. So you're this fox that has this, like, he just wakes up and he suffered amnesia, I guess. It has no recollection.
And he's gotta kill.
Yeah, I guess. And you just come across this sword and this little flying fox thing that shoots out energy beams out of it, because video games, I guess. And and yeah, like the combat is very much like a Devil May Cry Bayonetta like style, where you just chain combos, a lot of parrying and countering and all that as like a side scroller. So yeah, really fun, enjoying my time with it. I think I'm on like chapter 2 of it. I don't know how many chapters there are, but it's kind of funny because like I have that, like all Metroidvania games, where you're just like, man, I want to do all this shit or get there, but I can't, so I'm just gonna keep pressing on, and then eventually it'll get to a point where it's like, I have all the abilities, now I can go and finish up whatever side quests I need to do. And I guess that's what separates it from other like Metroidvania games, is that they're actual quests that you get by like walking around and talking to people, and they're like, oh, I saw such and such at this town or this location, can you go check it out for me? As opposed to the main storyline where you just keep pressing on. And I just keep pressing on because I'm just like, I don't think I could do any of these side quests right now. I probably could, but if I come across it on the way, then great. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep going, because I'm sure the main quest will give me abilities that I can get around faster or better.
Right.
But yeah, highly recommend it as that kind of genre, if you're into all those kind of genres, which is a lot of.
That's like right up your alley.
Yeah. But that's it. That's all for me.
Cool. On that note, why don't we kick it over to the news?
Let's do it.
Let's see. We've got not a lot of news this week. Steam has been steadily rolling out updates about different things in the Steam system. And last week, they announced changes to trading cards in specific. So they went through and they outlined all the different problems that they had with the trading card system. But
Okay.
they outlined the whole core concept behind them originally was like, hey, this is just a way to show your fandom for specific games. The reason why they didn't drop enough for you to even possibly complete it on your own is the idea that you would trade cards with your friends for the games that you really like, and they would trade cards for games that they really like. It was just supposed to be a fun thing. And if you didn't care about it, go ahead and sell them on the marketplace and you can make a couple cents off of it.
Yeah.
They're like 90%. They said the vast majority of people were treating trading cards correctly and using them in ways that they could. However, they found that there was a small percentage of people that would put up fake developer pages, release fake Steam games just to farm cards to then sell on the open market and make money off of selling fake cards. And it was working.
Jesus.
So they're changing how that works.
God.
Card drops now will not activate on games until they have X number of active player, like a large enough player base.
Yeah.
Like for the vast majority of games, this will not affect them at all.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're playing a game that doesn't have a strong player base, it might not have cards, which I don't think a lot of people will really care about in the end.
Yeah.
But what was interesting is I didn't realize that this was an actual problem.
Yeah. Well, some people are going to always find some way to exploit some sort of market if people aren't looking close enough. Even if it's pennies, it all adds up.
Yeah. What's curious to me is Steam and Valve's sudden turnabout of, oh, hey, by the way, let's tell you all about our internal workings and how we're thinking and what we're doing. It feels to me like they're trying to save face and regain a lot of the goodwill that they've squandered over the years.
Yeah.
It's nice, but until I see things that actually get implemented.
Yeah. I think it's because they've been seeing how a lot of companies... It's kind of funny because it seems like a lot of people kind of, or at least a lot of dev companies kind of base off what Steam does, at least for people like GOG and whatnot. They kind of base off of like how Steam does it. But I think now it's kind of like the tables have turned as like Valve seeing companies and dev companies being like, hey, look how transparent we are, and people being like, shit, yeah, I fucking totally support these people because they're actually saying shit and they're being as transparent as possible. I think Valve at this point is like, damn, man, we haven't really, like, people used to really fucking love us, and because we've just been so quiet on everything, it seems like exactly what you're saying there, and they're like, oh shit, like, people are losing trust of us. We need to actually start saying what the hell we've been up to. Right,
and I think that's all it is. But that being said, Steam does have the largest player base. The largest. And it'll be real tough to crack that.
Yeah.
So this is the next logical step. Please be forthcoming with all of these changes.
Yeah.
I think it's good. E3 news. Ubisoft has confirmed their E3 conference as well. They're going to be June 12th at 1 Pacific Standard Time. That is Monday afternoon, which slots right in normal because Ubisoft and Nintendo normally wrap up the end of it. So that E3 this year is going to be weird because it starts that Saturday. Really? The
With
10th. EA.
Oh.
EA is doing shit on Saturday. Bethesda and Microsoft are doing shit on Sunday. Sony hasn't... did they? Do I have that in the news here?
I'm pretty sure we said that last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think we
I think we got a date.
Monday.
I think they were Monday.
Yeah. Sony is Monday. But suddenly everything's shifting to the weekend, and that's weird.
I guess. I mean,
you've got EA, you've got Bethesda, and you've got Microsoft all that weekend before. Then you've got Sony on Monday, Nintendo and Ubi on Tuesday, and now Devolver Digital has their own press conference.
Yeah.
All they have tweeted out is Devolver Digital will have an E3 press conference this year. Please stay tuned for a time and date. And they haven't yet put out a time and date.
Mm-hmm.
But Devolver are weird as hell. They just had a big Devolver Digital sale on Steam.
Yeah.
So it's please bring the weird.
Yeah. I think it makes sense for it to be starting up on the weekends now, though. Just because it seems like it's becoming like a larger streaming event, and people watching it on the internet, you want to be able to accommodate for those people who aren't taking like a vacation to attend E3.
Right.
So I feel like they're probably understanding that a huge bulk of audience is streaming it.
But I think more so than that, this is also the first year that E3 is to the public.
Yep.
That's true.
By getting it out there on the weekend, the public will be like, oh shit, that's there. Oh shit, that's there. So you have a lot of really excited people come storming in the gates Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
And then Ubisoft going Tuesday afternoon is a little too late, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So like you don't want to have a bunch of booths out there on the show floor with shit covered up, like, oh, you can't see what this is yet.
Yeah.
Not on day one, not of E3, not when you're making it public.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, plus also it gives a chance for people to... Oh, no, that's right, because the conferences aren't open up to the public. It's just the show floor. Never mind.
Well, it depends. So EA and Microsoft aren't doing things at the E3 they didn't get stage time. Okay. And I know EA doesn't have any kind of floor presence there.
Okay.
Microsoft does. Bethesda does, but they didn't rent out the stage. So they might have their own policy with who gets seats in those auditoriums.
Because
I don't know how that works.
Because I was about to say, if like certain conferences were open to the public, then that would make all the more sense of why they pushed back some of the conferences into the weekend. So again, like we were saying, people could see it on the weekend and be like, oh shit, I'm going to go see this conference in person. I can be there on the weekend. I don't have to take additional time off or whatever.
Right.
If I could be there for that event.
Yeah.
Right. I know that, like I've been saying, I think this E3 is going to be a weird one. It's going to be a good one, and I think it's going to be a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that Devolver is doing their own. Like, fuck yes.
They're gonna be bringing those fucking indie titles in, which is great for a lot of people, because then that means more indie titles will get more coverage,
more attention. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking, I want to see a dude dressed up as Dropsy up there. Dropsy's a creepy fucking clown. Okay, so I've got a news story here that I realize is probably only of interest to me, but that's fine. Fuck you. This is my show. They announced Battlestar Galactica Deadlock, developed by Black Lab Games. They only have one other game under their belt, Starhammer: The Vanguard Prophecy. It is a strategy game a la Warhammer.
Yes.
Gothic, set during the first Cylon Wars, which predates the modern Battlestar Galactica show. So it's in the modern show timeline in the first Cylon War.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strategy game, and I'm just very excited for it. This seems like a very logical and good thing to do with the Battlestar Galactica license.
Mm.
No threat of skin jobs.
Yeah.
Ubisoft has gotten out and they've announced the new release date for South Park: The Fractured But Whole. October 17th.
Okay.
So nearly a full year after it was originally due to come out. But who knows? You know, Stick of Truth was a good game. I didn't actually end up finishing it, but I played a good chunk of it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed what it was doing, but the superhero motif, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, because it made sense with it being a turn-based RPG, especially with the combat and everything, with it being in a fantasy setting or fantasy theme. But yeah, as far as like it's still the same gameplay, but everyone's a superhero now. It seems okay, I guess.
Yeah, I never watched that story arc of South Park, but the thing that made the Stick of Truth more interesting to me was the fact that they hadn't done that in the show. Like, that wasn't a clear story arc. There was one episode where they did that, and the superhero thing is over so many different episodes.
Yeah.
That it was like half a season, right? Or if not an entire season.
I actually just recently came across that whole it's like a 3-part thing that they had near the end of one season. I think it was like season 14 or something. Yeah, it was like a 3-part episode or story arc where it was just basically all superheroes. I guess they just had one giant idea that just lasted all 3 episodes. Yeah, and I think there's actually probably 1 or 2 more that happened, but they were like much further in the next season.
Right. I don't know. I don't like that theme.
Yeah.
The fact that Cartman calls himself the Coon is not... It's not something that I really am comfortable with.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's just, I don't know. I mean, it's fucking South Park, man. They're gonna push that fucking line as far as they can.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just I don't really find that particularly entertaining. That's just me.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people will play it. A lot of people will love it because that first game was really good.
Oh, yeah. And there's plenty of people who didn't like it because there's just so many fart jokes in it.
Yeah. I mean, I can take the fart jokes. I liked my time with Stick of Truth. I just kind of stopped, and I don't know why. I really loved the Find Jesus side quest.
Yeah.
Like, there's some genuinely funny writing throughout that game.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? It's not one that I've been holding my breath for, personally, but I know a lot of people have, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I played and beat Stick of Truth, enjoyed it from beginning to end, and yeah, I'm kind of indifferent about it. I'm like, on the one hand, I'm like, cool, because I really like Stick of Truth, but on the other hand, I'm like, did we really need another one?
Right.
Yeah. I never played the Stick of Truth, but I still want to. But yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah.
About those games. Like, it's not really like I respect what they're doing, and I respect what they're trying to do, and I'm happy that they didn't try to push it out, and they're trying to make people happy by making a good game.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of respect for those dudes, and I think they are phenomenal writers, and I think they do, like, a lot of the episodes of South Park that are really good, they do touch on, like, what is fucked up about society and why it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And they're really good at that, like, extremely good at that. So, and I think that's what makes that kind of stuff interesting to me, is, like, I like that they try to put an emphasis on using words that people deem bad, because I think, like, the big thing with words is people put more meaning on them than they have. And I think, so, like, in South Park, they utilize that, and they're like, dude, these are fucking words. Like,
Right.
don't take them too much to heart.
Yeah.
And South Park really hits on a lot of that stuff and why Americans are so like sensitive to certain topics of life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something that hopefully it's good. But
if I recall, I think Stick of Truth was actually pushed back as well.
It was well, Stick of Truth had a very harried development because originally that was THQ.
Yeah.
Then THQ died, and that it had already faced a delay or maybe two before THQ died. Then no one was sure if it was going to actually come out until Ubisoft swooped in and bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it got more delays. And apparently a lot of the inside babble about that is due to Matt and Trey and how they write.
Yeah.
Because they constantly rewrite things. And for a show like what they're doing, that's minor and quick and easy to deal with. But when you're dealing with video game production, you really can't do quick rewrites. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm sure that they probably are like, oh, we're writing this game and it's coming out this far away. It needs to be topical when it comes out. Like, you can't be, because like they're so into like what's going on in the now and like what's going on that day that if it doesn't hit when it comes out and at that time in October, like if you're talking about points that happened in like November of 2016 and it's coming out in October of 2017, like it's just it might just go over people's heads and people just not give too much of a shit about it, you know.
Well, at the same time,
get right down to the minutia too. So.
Yeah, I mean, but also at the same time, a lot of Stick of Truth also had a lot of references to earlier seasons of the show. Like, and I would say even that predated like the 13th season. So like really early episodes where South Park really took off and everybody was watching that show. Like they make a lot of references to that. So then you're like, okay, no, I get it because I used to watch South Park forever ago and I get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that would be the best way for them to make a game is to not really go
super topical.
Yeah, not really go with like the news and what's going on at that time. Go with more of the story arcs of your actual show and like things
which is pretty much what
show.
They did in Stick of Truth.
Yeah.
Like they wrote that so well, and I don't doubt this one will be just as good. I just okay.
Don't really care too much about it.
Yeah, really, it's not really that big of a deal on my radar.
Yeah.
So there was an announcement tweeted out by Platige Image that they have started production of a series for Netflix.
Oh.
On The Witcher.
Yeah, The Witcher.
Yep.
So I Platige Image, I wasn't sure what they are. I may be pronouncing that like an asshole, but I took a look at what they had done on their Wikipedia page. They've done a series of different animated shorts. They've done some visual effects work for film. They also worked on the Witcher series and their cinematics. So this is calling into question. A lot of people are asking whether or not it'll be CG or practical.
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't come out and say.
No, they didn't. Because if you make it CG, then it's no different than the CG in the game. Because those cinematics in that game are fucking on point. They're wonderful.
Yeah.
But then you should, if you're dealing with the characters in The Witcher, you should just rehire all of the voice actors from the game.
Yeah.
To then do that. But then again, unless you're telling completely new stories, why don't you just play the game?
Right.
Like, I'm really excited to see what this turns into because I have no idea what it will turn into and how it will justify its own existence.
If I recall, I think a lot of the Witcher novels like have all kinds of different adventures, and I think even the games don't even touch some of them. And I think that's where probably the series is going to pick up. and it's just going to take a lot of those stories that the games never even got to or didn't have time for, or whatever, and then they're just going to expand on that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. My guess is it's not gonna be the video game. You know, like it's not gonna be based off of the story of the video game. It's gonna be based off of the side stories or the books or whatever, or it's just gonna tell a whole new part of The Witcher.
Mm-hmm.
Well, honestly, they could go through and do the first game and most of the second game. Because a lot of people didn't play those first 2 Witcher games.
Yeah.
So I'm just excited to see what that turns into.
Yeah, no, I'm interested, and like I like what Netflix is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that they need to slow their roll because they're releasing a lot of bullshit right now, but they also have released a lot of amazing stuff, so yeah, I'm pretty excited to see what they do with that.
Yeah. Microsoft has extended their rights on the Scalebound name.
Yeah.
In a confusing move. Like, they're protecting their rights for a game that they didn't end up coming out with. So I wonder if canceling that project actually made them go back to the drawing board, and we might actually see that reemerge.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now that they're saying this, that they're renewing it.
Yeah.
I don't... One, I'm not holding my breath. Two,
of course not.
Yeah. Two, I think they're just... I think the only reason why they're extending the rights is because they just want to protect that name because of how much time went into it.
Right.
Because, you know, if someone else, like, fucking comes along and then makes a game that's totally not Scalebound but has the name, that's like, well, then they lose that. So I think that's just ultimately what it comes down to is that.
Yeah. That's the most logical answer. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, because I saw so many people being like, oh my god, could they still work on it? It's like, I don't think so, man. I think they're just protecting the name and that's it.
They could in theory, but that's probably what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just let it get out there far enough. But then you never know. It could be another Prey situation.
True.
Possibly. There was an interview happened earlier this week with the Don't Nod developers that said that they are working on a new Life is Strange game. Which was pretty much exactly their wording. Not that they're working on Life is Strange 2, but a new Life is Strange game.
Yeah. So,
which has me very hopeful that they aren't making a direct sequel.
Yeah.
Because if they do, well, they are making one. What I hope they do is that it's a completely different location, completely different characters, completely different mechanics, but the same atmosphere and tone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my guess at what they're doing. Like, is it's not a sequel. It's just like in the same kind of world as the other one.
Yeah.
Which, man, that Life is Strange was real close to my game of the year 2015. It was real fucking good. If they... Telltale needs to look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
And do that.
Yeah. But, you know, engine comes first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
will always come back to that. Whenever Telltale is mentioned, I will always come back to their shitty-ass engine.
Craziest fucking thing.
Their animations just aren't holding up now.
No.
Man. But before they get to that, Don't Nod has to get their weird Spanish flu vampire game out the door. Which I think is coming out this year. Vampire. And I believe that's this year. We should see more of it at E3. Okay, really the only other huge... Well, let's do the small one. Far Cry 5 was teased today.
Ah, yes.
Looks to have confirmed modern-day Montana as a setting.
Yep.
No confirmation if it's like modern-day cowboys or police officers. We don't know, but there's a church.
It looked like something that would be like late 20th century. At least that's what I took from it.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be modern-day cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
But, okay. We're going to see more in way under a month now.
Yeah.
And then the last big piece of news, Destiny 2 had a big old info dump.
Ah, yes.
They showed gameplay for the first time, and you know what? That looks like a Destiny game with a number of quality of life improvements.
Yeah.
The big headlines pulling away from this is that on PC, it will be exclusively through the Blizzard app, the Blizzard client. They use the term BattleNet.
I know.
Which, man, okay, you can be forgiven because you're Bungie and you're not Blizzard, but come, just talk to them. You're under the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Just get your messaging straight. But so that's not going to be on Steam. That's going to be through the Blizzard client, which is big news considering this is the first non-Blizzard game to be on the Blizzard client.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both under the Activision umbrella, but yeah, I think that's actually the right move from a financial standpoint for them.
Yeah, definitely.
You already have this huge player base of StarCraft and WoW and Overwatch. It just makes sense. Why give it to Steam and have them lop off 30% of your profits when you could just host it on your own and get just as many people?
Yeah. However, then there's the no dedicated servers.
No dedicated. I was just gonna hit on that. There's no dedicated servers on PC.
Yeah.
Which is, given what they're going for, I can understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Because Destiny has always been MMO adjacent. As soon as you allow dedicated servers, you open it up to people farming their own stuff and then bringing it in. Like, that's not the kind of experience I want to go for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say I support the idea.
Right.
But I understand it from a business standpoint.
Okay.
I still don't like it.
Yeah.
Because most of the time I'm going to want to turn off all that online interaction crap anyway.
Right.
But
if anything, it'll be more of us sticking around again, like it was in the first Destiny.
Of course.
Yeah.
Just hopefully with a lot more story and understanding of what the fuck are we doing.
Yeah. That and mission variety, much like Taken King had.
Yeah, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm interested. I'm hopeful that it's going to be solid.
Right. Apparently, they've completely changed how ammunition works in this one.
Okay.
So previously, you had your primary, secondary, and like heavy weapon.
Yeah.
And that's how it separated out your ammo.
Okay.
But now you have ballistic, elemental, and void. So, like, darkness, and then all the different elemental weapons, and then just your regular gun weapons. Oh, no, it's charge for, like, energy weapons.
Oh, okay.
And they changed what weapons can be equipped in what slots as secondary. So, like, sniper rifles are no longer secondary. Shotguns aren't secondaries now. So, they're playing with that kind of a balance.
Okay.
But what they also announced is they're ditching Grimoire cards. Because that's where all the story was in the first Destiny. And I downloaded the Destiny app again, and I tried to log into it. I can't remember how to log into it to see my Grimoire cards. Because everyone I know that has really, really loved the original Destiny for its story are because they read through all of the Grimoire cards.
Jesus.
Because apparently there's really, really interesting shit going on there. But you don't get that in the game.
Yeah.
So them ditching Grimoire cards is a very, very good sign.
Yeah.
That they're going to try to at least explain the different factions and what they're doing.
Mm.
Like the Cabal, the Vex, like what? Like, I don't give a shit. They all kind of act the same.
Yeah. They all have weak points where you just shoot them in the face. Look at that. Critical damage.
Yeah.
And that also, I came across one point of hearing another quality of life thing that they're changing is that you can go from planet to planet without, like, just by going into a menu and then selecting it while you're on the planet. So you don't have to, like, fly in orbit and then pick the planet and then all that shit. It's just basically like, all right, I want to go to this planet now. Cool. And then it'll do, like, one cinematic and that's it. And then you're there.
Right. Yes, that's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, that was really annoying.
Yeah. So it looks like at least they're making an honest effort to improve, because Destiny 1 was fun. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed playing Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't like not knowing the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
I didn't like not knowing anything.
No time to explain on why they don't have time to explain.
Yeah. No time to explain, and the dialogue in itself was just fucking horrendous as well. Until Taken King came out, and then
all of a sudden, hey, people have personality, and we get to learn about, like, that woman with the weird bleeding eyes who's a part of the one, like, darkness cult or whatever it was.
Mm.
Like, I want to know her story. I want to know why she's there.
Mm.
Like, what's your deal? Why are you bleeding black?
Why are you crying all the time? Who hurt you? What happened?
Maybe you should change out those bandages every once in a while. They don't look too hot.
Yeah.
So I'm honestly very hopeful for Destiny 2. I think that's going to be it feels like that's going to be improved, but again, wait.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, cuz as really out of watching the gameplay trailer where I was like, yeah, that looks more like Destiny. Like the big thing for me that was the oh shit out of everything was Destiny 2 being on the Blizzard app. Like that was the biggest like holy shit like thing out of that. And that's just more of the meta shit that's outside of the game. So it like has nothing to do with the game itself. But you know, I mean, I'm willing to do exactly as I did with the first Destiny, where I'm just gonna wait and then see how everything is, and then I'm sure with updates they'll fix a lot of things of their loot system or what have you, quality of life things, and I'm sure they'll improve even more so, and just see where it goes.
Yep. Yeah, I think it coming on the Blizzard app is also a good test for Blizzard to see like what games will do outside of their own on there and how they'll sell on there. Because if Destiny 2 tanks, you know, it'd be a good sign for them to say, well, that's it. Never putting another one of these games on our app.
Yeah.
You know, or other companies or Activision saying, yeah, I guess we tried it with Destiny 2 and no, it didn't work out. So
I don't see it happening though, only because of how many people who didn't get to play Destiny 1 on PC and now they're like, hey man, I've wanted to fucking play Destiny 2 or Destiny on the PC. Now here's my chance. Who gives a damn? And who gives a damn? Yeah, and who gives a damn of whether it's good or not? I finally get to play Destiny on PC.
Yeah, no, I don't have too much of like a worry that it's gonna sell. The only thing is I do think that there is a different audience on Steam and on Blizzard. Like, I do think the audiences are different.
Yeah.
And I think the people who are playing Blizzard games want to play Blizzard games. That's the only thing that I look at is like, maybe the crowd just isn't going to eat up Destiny. But I think it'll be fine because you can just get the Blizzard app anyways and just buy the fucking game if you want to play it. You know, so it's like you're not going to
Right, and
I don't think it's going to stop the people who want to play it to go play it on PC if you have a good PC.
Well, look at it this way too. Look at the crowd that would be crying for or calling out for a Destiny PC port. They already have a PC, so odds are good that they've already played a Blizzard
that they
game.
have Blizzard. Yeah, exactly.
So,
and I think like that some of the aspects of Destiny, like they did get one of the dudes who worked on Diablo to work on like the way that they do weapons and stuff like that and the unidentified stuff. Yeah. So it has some similarities to like a Diablo mixed with an MMO RPG mixed with a shooter, So it does have all aspects of what I think Blizzard fans do like in games.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely it's an interesting thing, and I'd like to see. I actually hope it works out because I'd like to see more games just be released through Blizzard like that.
Right. More competition with Steam is healthy.
Yeah. The more competition you have, the better things get going, and hey, the better it is for users as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like us gamers, the more avenues we have to buy games, the more competition there is. Maybe turns out games become a little bit cheaper.
Oh, you're already seeing that with a lot of the other like Green Man Gaming and all these other sites.
Fucking Twitch. I downloaded a Twitch desktop app just because I have Prime. So I have Twitch Prime. You can download, I think they do like a monthly thing, much like Xbox and PlayStation, where you can download a free game onto your Twitch desktop app. I downloaded Titan Souls. I might give that a shot sometime.
Yeah, it's good. So that was it for news that I had flagged. If I missed anything, speak up now.
The only other thing I can think of is that Rockstar already came out and said that Red Dead Redemption 2 is delayed.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Yes. Yeah, I think
which I'm not very surprised about.
Yeah, that. It's like something like next year spring or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Q2 or something of 2018.
Yeah, which people already are like, no, man, it's going to be delayed to fucking Q4 of next year.
I can imagine it will be anyways.
And then PC will be like 2019, like fucking,
Q4 2019.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, whatever. It's fine with me.
Definitely expected. I expected at least one delay on that game.
Yeah, considering they've just
delays.
Considering they just released a teaser trailer last year, and that was it.
I'm sure come E3 on either the Xbox or Sony stage, they'll have something.
Yeah,
they're definitely gonna have something.
What? Oh man, what about this? What if they show up on the Xbox stage to announce a Windows version through the Windows 10 store of Red Dead Redemption 2?
I think there was something asked if there was going to be, if Red Dead would be on the Windows store because it is available for Xbox. I think that was asked. I can't remember. I think more of the question was, is there that cross-platform?
Yeah,
whatever the hell they call it. If there's that
play
for Red
anywhere.
Dead. Yeah, play anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think someone asked the dev team if something like that was going to be available for Red Dead Redemption 2, and I think they said no.
So that's play anywhere. That doesn't mean there won't be a PC version.
Right.
That's the only reason I can see them coming out on the Xbox stage is to announce a PC version. And then if they want to be gods, say Red Dead Redemption, the original, available today on Windows.
Yeah. That's what I like in the back of my mind. That's what I was thinking. Like maybe it's more based. Maybe this first delay is more based off of, hey, let's put the first one on PC and see how people eat it up and see how people like it, and then we go from there.
Or they do that to bide their time.
Yeah, or you bide. Yeah, exactly. You bide your time because I fucking want to play that game again. but I'd rather play it on PC.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I'd buy it again and then fucking not finish it again. But love it all over because I always did every time when I fucking start up that game.
See,
I watched a couple videos of it and it still looks good.
Oh yeah.
I never got too far into that game because I always get to the point where I'm like at Armadillo and it's like, okay, I've got 3 or 4 different missions I can do. And I'm like, I know I'm going to spend hundreds of hours here and I'm going to love all of it, but I don't want to spend hundreds of hours. But I should. I really should.
That's why you just do missions, man. Just do missions. Just get out of that town.
But you can just go for a walk, and that's when you find an old woman in a wedding dress sitting in a burned-out house, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, yeah,
it's
that's
like The Witcher, man. That's when you find the cool things.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying fast travel to fucking one town to another. Like, totally explore, because that's half the goddamn game.
Yeah. There's a lot to do, but I feel like that's one of those games where they found a happy medium of like,
right.
There's a lot to do in this game, but it's not it's not
busy work.
No, it's not like busy work. There's the side missions are just like little treats on your way to finish the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's Rockstar. They know how to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be it for news. Why don't we kick it over to emails? It's utterlygeek@gmail.com. That's utterlyg33k@gmail.com. You send them there. We'll answer them here once we receive them there. We haven't gotten anything new other than Twitter updates. Well, I won't read you through that, and videos being scheduled and comments on videos, and that's great. Which you can find us at youtube.com/utterlygeek. Is that do we have that on lock?
No.
Do we not? Have that
you have to be like a certain level of subscribers on your channel in order to, because right now it's just like a generic like /channel/ here's a bunch of numbers and letters and shit.
So search Utterly Geek on YouTube.
Yeah, basically. Like that's the only way you'll be able to find us.
Join the conversation there. You can also join the conversation live at twitch.tv/cptwally, which we should probably change over to an official one, but we'll work on that later. Twitch.tv/cptwally. To watch us live Monday nights at roughly 7:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
We have a chat going on. We don't very much interact with the chat unless it's pertinent to the current conversation. Or you ask a question, in which case we'll answer it here. Do we have questions this week?
No.
Well, if we had questions, we would answer them here. So join the conversation. Watch us live. Listen to us. Watch us. I don't know why you'd want to look at us, but...
And also, if you have Facebook, because everybody has fucking Facebook except for Steve.
Right. Do that.
You can also...
Steve is the only smart human being left.
Yeah. You can also leave a comment there on our video sections and video posts that we make, and or audio as well.
Yup. So go there, watch, and follow, and it's wonderful. That will kick us over to new releases for your coming week, dated May 23rd through the 29th. We have coming up, starting on PlayStation 4, as we always do, Star Ocean 3 Till the End of Time, Director's Cut, being released on PlayStation 4 on May 23rd. If you're into the Star Ocean series, I am not. I only recognize the name. Rime is coming out on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC May 26th. This is, I believe, a third-person like adventure style game.
Okay.
I believe. I'm not sure. I can't seem to skip around the... Yeah, no, it's an indie game. We also have Friday the 13th, the game, coming out PlayStation 4, Xbox
shit.
One, and PC on May 26th. I had been following this game. I didn't realize it was so soon coming out. So this is an interesting game where you've got a team of 6 versus a team of Jason.
Yep.
Where the 6's objective is just to stay alive. It's not for the team to stay alive. It's for the individuals in those 6's to stay alive.
Yep.
So you're the camp counselors. The other player is playing Jason. And I'm really, really interested in how that game will work out.
Yeah.
Adam Sessler is involved in the creation of that game. He's their,
Oh, wow.
I want to say, social head
Oh,
for
okay.
that. So this is the first project he's done post Rev 3 games.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, I actually thought about that the other week. I was like, what the hell is he up to? Because I have not heard anything about him in so long.
Yeah, he got tired of working around the games industry and seeing them make dumb decisions. So he's like, I'm going to go into the game industry and hopefully not make dumb decisions.
It's a
Here
good
we
way
have
to do
Friday
it.
the 13th.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm excited for that game. I want to see how well that does.
Mm-hmm.
Kicking it over to Xbox One releases. I've already said Friday the 13th and Rime coming out May 26th on Xbox One. Don't really have anything more. Nintendo Switch sees the release of Disgaea 5 Complete on May 23rd. If you're into the Disgaea series of JRPGs, I know a lot of people are really excited for that one.
Yeah.
We also have Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers coming May 26th to the Switch. This is the one that adds Evil Ryu and Violent Ken to Street Fighter 2. A game that everyone probably already owns somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's see. We have the Wii U releases, actually. Darksiders War Mastered Edition is coming out May 23rd. Tomorrow on the Wii U.
Wow.
That is probably the last time we will mention that console on this show in a new releases capacity.
Yeah.
And finally, your favorite part of the week. Upcoming PC releases.
Yes.
Let's take a look. We got Smugglecraft. Oh, apparently that's also on PlayStation 4, May 23rd. Let's see. What else do we have? No, that's not anything worth mentioning.
Okay.
Tanks versus Aliens, May 25th.
Oh, yeah.
Also coming May 25th, Vanquish.
Oh,
for
shit.
PC. Yeah. There's a thing you should be aware of. You already have Bayonetta.
Yeah, but, you know.
So you can get a
PC.
That's what I'm saying. You can get it cheaper because you already have Bayonetta on PC. Because I know you already bought Bayonetta on PC.
I did not, as a matter of fact.
Well, hey, maybe you should buy Bayonetta on PC.
I know. I've got Bayonetta and Vanquish both in my shopping cart. I've just not hit go yet. That is all.
We also have Friday the 13th and Rime coming May 26th to PC as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be it. Not even really enough for like silly names.
Well,
this week.
Yeah.
We're in that like lull pre E3.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
where
yeah.
People are kind of afraid to put things out.
Yeah.
So.
Which is kind of weird because you'd think that with E3 they'd be like, here's a game that's coming next year. So then people will be like, oh, all right, well, shit, it's coming out next year. So fuck it, let's release a game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. So I think that'll be it for us this week.
Cool.
Thanks for joining us and meet us. Well, we'll follow us on any of the pre-mentioned formats because next week is Memorial Day. So we may or may not be here.
Oh.
Follow us on social media.
And
We
we'll
will
let
let
you
you
know.
know.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll put something will happen. but it might not be a live show.
Oh, okay.
Thanks you for joining us.
Mm-hmm.
Shankle.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.